They've said to me before that they feel invisible. I've had someone thank me for talking to them, which in this day and age in our society is completely wrong. It's almost, the haircut's almost secondary. It's the contact, the respect and the real deep communication. It's a connection between human beings. Is he heckling you?
You what?
Is he heckling you?
No. Yeah, alright.
It started, funny enough, a couple of weeks' time. It's 5 years ago. It started, I was on my own in Romford. I was doing this thing where, because I'm 13 years sober, and I was working with alcoholics in the local Salvation Army. And at the same time, I'd seen this guy on Facebook from America doing these makeovers on the street. And I thought, it's brilliant, being a hairdresser. I thought, next week when I go and do my alcoholic talk, I'll do some of the guys who come in to get food. And that was the first session. And from that point on, I've done it ever since. It sounds a bit dramatic, but that day changed my life. You've got to remember that you all love and go to a salon and you come out feeling good, but you're coming from a place of so-called normality. Imagine someone who's had the worst time that you can ever imagine, then A, gets talked to, treated like a human being, and then actually gets touched, because they often don't get touched. And that is the real icebreaker. When you lay hands on someone, it really breaks open the communication.
I've been doing this 2.5 years. So yeah, it's a little while now. This has been just under that sort of time. So yeah, I enjoy it. You see a lot of different people, interesting people. They're all different stories and things going on.
There's times when something really petty happens at home and you go, oh, I'm having a terrible day, and then you get here and someone will go, yeah, sleep rough, and you go, oh right, it's not that actually what's happening at home. One lady actually I spoke to last time, she's only 25, and she was speaking to me about her partner, and sort of he sounds quite abusive basically.
She had like a guy with her who was sort of hovering, and they have lots of layers on generally, so she's took like lots of it off, and she's got down to her t-shirt, and she had like bruises up her arms, but they, like the finger bruises where someone's really like manhandled her.
And she's like, oh yeah, sometimes they kick me out at 2 a.m. because we've had an argument, and she's got nowhere to go. She doesn't know how to get herself out of that situation right now, and I don't think she's ready to get herself out of that situation.
And what they tend to do, like someone's like a young woman maybe sometimes will team up with not the ideal person, but it's better than being on her own. And then you've got this sort of not very good codependency going on, it just breaks your heart. Because I've got daughters, and I just, if they're similar to my daughter's age, it really brings it home to me. I've had stories, sometimes they have opened up to me, and young women, like, we've chatted, why have you ended up on the streets, and because you think, like, can you not go home to your family? But it's a dangerous place. Like one young girl told me that her dad used to be a pimp, used to pimp her out to his friends, and like, how could she ever go back there?
I might trim a little bit.
And I've cut that nice round your ear.
Being autistic, I had no one to turn to, Due to my dad, I had self-harmed in the past. I got physically and emotionally abused by him. It got to the point where I did run away from home, just having to wander around, find a place to, that's in the shade and shelter. At one stage, I actually slept in some woods.
So how long did that experience last?
2-3 months. It was the most toughest thing ever. just the thoughts in your head, this is it, I'm going to die, you know, I can't deal with this anymore, no one really cares.
How would you say that Haircuts for Homeless has changed?
Made me a new person, more like being with a massive family.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Let me just pull that back up for you. So it's tucked all in.
It's like a massive family here.
Do we have a number 59?
Really good idea.
I won't smile because I've got half my teeth missing.
I can understand why people walk past, you know, because what can you do? You know, it's such a vast problem. And it makes people feel uncomfortable. You know, like they just feel, you know, I get that. I mean, when I come from a project in London on the way home, I walk past so many homeless people because I cannot stop every step of the way and I cannot give everyone money. So what I do is choose to give my time, which, by the way, is the most precious commodity we've got. You said about what can I do to educate. The biggest education is reminding people these are human beings. You know, they matter. I just seen a guy in there, Mike, and he's me where I'd be now if I hadn't have changed my life 13 years ago. You know, and I held the mirror up to him. And he's mucking about. I went, yeah, mate, this bloke's worth something. You know, and he gave me a big cuddle. And I said, you know, I'm not preaching to you, but I've not drunk for 13 years and your life can only get better. You know, and he goes, oh, it gives me something to think about. But hopefully that grain does. I'm not saying it'll change his life, but you never know. You know, like those little grains of thought, sometimes they grow.
Thick hair's lovely.
No, Kyoto and Utrecht.